Hi friends, so today we are going to be canning some beef broth, beef stock, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to show you my process for that. I don't have measurements, but I will show you how I do things. So first I'm going to unwrap these soup bones. Every butcher shop might do soup bones a little differently. Obviously you can tell that ours has a lot of meat on them, which is fine. We will just use the meat later and have it for supper. But I'm going to go ahead and put those in a roaster pan, and then I'm going to chop up some basic veggies. I've got carrots and onions and celery, and they can just be in big pieces, and I'm going to put them all in this roaster pan along with this meat. I did wash and peel them first, but we're not going to eat them. They're just part of the broth, so they can just be in big chunks here. The nice thing with beef broth is that it can be made with winter veggies. So if you have these in your root cellar or just they're easily accessible from the grocery store, this is a good winter canning project. So once I've got all that in my roasting pan, I'm just going to sprinkle on a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm also going to put about an inch of water in the bottom of the roasting pan. This just kind of helps everything steam and cook a little bit, as well as starting to get some flavor into our broth. Then I'm going to stick that in the oven and roast it at about 425 degrees for about a half an hour. We're not trying to cook things, we're just trying to get it started. Okay, now I'm going to take everything from that roaster pan and stick it in my large stock pot, including the juices and all of the veggies and all of the meat. It's all going to go in my big stock pot here. And I'm going to fill that about 3/4 of the way full of water, because I have quite a bit here to go off of. The amount of water you add is kind of up to how much you are using to make your beef broth. If you're looking for more specific directions, you can get them out of the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving, which is what this is loosely based off of. But like I said, mostly measurements I just add with my heart here. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of onion and garlic powder, as well as a couple bay leaves, and we're just going to let this simmer for several hours. Now, if you have a crock pot or an Instant Pot, you can probably make broth faster than I can. Since I don't have the electricity to run those things, I just have to make mine on the stove. So I let it simmer for at least probably 5 hours, if not longer, just kind of depending on the day and how much time I have. All right, once it's done cooking, I'm going to run it through a strainer and through my funnel into my clean quart canning jars. And if you want it to be really strained and more of a clear liquid, you're going to need to run it through cheesecloth as well. I'm just straining out the big chunks of veggies that I put in there, which I will then dump out and put in the duck bucket so we can give them to the ducks the next day. You'll want to leave 1 inch of headspace on the jars. And just keep repeating until all your jars are filled. My canner will hold 7 quart jars, and that's what I'm going to make here. I just have a standard 23-quart Presto canner, nothing fancy. Okay, clean off the rims of the jars before you put the lids on to make sure that they'll seal. I just do that with water and a clean cloth. And then we're going to put the lids on, and then the rims. In the rims I do fingertip tightness, which to me means you spin them on until they start to get tight, and then one little extra turn, and that seems to be the perfect amount of tightness for them to stay on the jars. Now I already have my canner ready behind me. It's got 2 inches of water that's already warm on the bottom. And so I'm going to stick all of my jars in. This will need to pressure can for 25 minutes, and you'll need to check your altitude to see what amount of pressure you'll need to put it at. I have to do mine at 14 pounds of pressure because I'm over 7,000 feet in elevation. So put the lid on, and then once you have the steam coming through the hole, you'll need to put the weight on so it can start building pressure, and then just monitor your time once it gets up to pressure. Okay, so this is the next morning and everything is cooled down, so don't worry, even though I have baby, it's all completely cool. I'm just going to take all of my clean and sealed jars out of the pressure canner and let them dry off a little bit before I put them away in the root cellar. Okay, so I forgot to film the final shots of the final product after I finished canning the beef broth before we brought it out here to the root cellar. So that's why I had to bring you out here to the root cellar today to show you what we did while we were canning. So this is a jar of the beef broth. This is what it looks like all finished. It does have a little bit of layer of fat on the top, and mine has a little bit of you know, some leftover beef sediment and some spices and stuff on the bottom. If you don't want that in your final product, you can run it through a cheesecloth or some kind of really fine strainer afterwards, but we don't really care because we're just going to use this for soup anyway, and it doesn't affect the product as long as there's just a little bit in there, so this is just fine. So we keep it out here in the root cellar with all of our other canned goods. It stays nice and cool and dark in here. And it doesn't freeze in the winter, and we just don't have room in the house. So this is where we store our beef broth, and whenever I want to make soup, we just come out here and grab a jar and anything else that we would need to make soup with. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope that it kind of showed how we can up our beef broth. I think it's actually really simple. Chicken stock is a little bit different, but also very easy. And then you can have almost a ready-made meal because you can just pour this together with some veggies and make a really easy soup. So like I said, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions for me, just go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you.